Hello everyone, welcome to another episode here on Malakai campaign. So, an Age of Reckoning is complete. I'm skipping a lot of turns, by the way, just to accelerate some of the stuff. And what am I going to get? Well, there's a lot of battles going on, but most of them are just, auto-resolves. This is auto-resolve fiesta now. So we're getting every single tech, then later I have to delete all the research ancillaries. Never forget that, especially once you get to this point. And now I have a ton of stuff that I actually evolved, let's say, and developed. So I'm already attacking quite a lot of the Dark Elves here. And mainly, I'm skipping ahead because it's literally just auto-resolve. I'm not even joking. It's auto-resolve, or if I fight any battles, I don't find them too interesting. So I'm going like, yeah, I'm going to showcase a different part of the game later on. So one thing is to control in the late game how you expand. It's the most important part is that you don't get carried away. It's very easy to go like, oh, I cannot resolve this. Oh, I cannot resolve this. And then suddenly you meet 3 enemies and it's done and you just skip a beat, basically. Of course, it's at this point in time, you don't lose exactly. If you lose an army, you recruit another one and it's a mere setback. But you really don't want those because those will just create the grinding aspect of the game. So what I mean by this is exactly, I'm showcasing a little bit how the do's and do nots in this instance. So whenever it reaches this sort of level, that's kind of what I do. So of course you upgrade these. Man, I keep spending so much time just assigning the skills. It's amazing. I really gotta do this. Really got to do this away from showing to you so that I can speak a little bit. But yeah. So let's approach this guy. He doesn't have anything to siege, so it has to be Malakai engaging first. There we go. So this is typically what happens. I mean, it's a not resolve without losing anything. So of course, let's go. Yeah, let's loot and occupy because that money sounded great. And overall, I am building stuff. I am building, ensuring that I get a lot of buildings, especially because it all synchronizes or synergizes, with the buildings that I have that give, more income from all buildings. So it's really important, even with when you are in places that there are not your best climate. Which is not the case. Frozen is, so only the chaos isn't. So this is the part that gets fun, because you get to expand really fast. But in this place, well, actually, you don't spend anything else. You can anything extra. I mean, you can attack and it's fine. So it's difficult for me to realize what I've shown and what I haven't shown. So some battles I'll showcase, others I won't. But overall, against Prince Sigvald, yeah, he's just fielding very poor armies. I don't know what happened with the AI for Prince Sigvald on this playthrough, but he was demolished. He owned the settlements but didn't build anything, so I guess he was just struggling for money. I think typically the AI requires a little bit of assistance in that regard sometimes. Like it doesn't have, when it doesn't have buffs, it's way worse. If it has buffs, it's like, okay, I get it. But if it doesn't, okay, valid defeat. No, we're not going to accept that.
Fight. Let us settle this.
Yeah, let me use the other one. Let me just approach. I should have sieged with this guy, but okay. I don't think he reaches. And now, yes, once more. Let's get to the stuff. So, for the most part, I'm going blue line to get to the upkeep and to the replenishment, especially because those synergize so well. You get less payment for the army and you replenish faster. So you end up spending less in the army overall, and you can spend more on buildings, so it just allows you to get even more income and more armies overall, right? And at the expense, of course, of my units not being that good. But at this moment, I have the full tech tree, especially for the units, so it's kind of balanced out, you know? And that's exactly the idea, because it is balanced out, because I have units that have some benefits from the research tree and also from Malakai's adventures, you know, depending on the unit. It also implies that I don't really rely too much on red line skills. So new lords don't really require those for now. Now, I'm planning out all the conquest of Zarnagrund. I want to do it in like a couple of turns only. They only have 3 places, and if I do everything properly, you know, I can lure them to attack either Thorgrim or this guy, you know, or to fall into an ambush, and whatever is effective, you know, whatever one is effective, that's the one that I'll follow. So, and in the meantime, I'm dealing with Grimgor. Really, he is not resisting at all. This is... I'm going to show you this battle, and that's typically what's been happening. I'm attacking settlements and conquering them. Same thing with the Dark Elves. You know, I'm just following and now resolving. I could fight the battles, but it's not like the outcome would be any different, you know. I typically like to fight the battles, even just to test out some of the units, okay? But this is a playthrough on YouTube. When it's a playthrough that I'm doing on YouTube, I'm not fighting everything because there's no time. You guys wouldn't watch it either. So when you're in this point, be very aware of how your expansion goes. Like, I'm expanding, right? And I have to keep aware that, the ogres are going to stay within my settlements if I keep conquering as I am. I have to take care of Zarnagrund because it's forcing me to stay with at least one army to not have any issues against them, so to make sure that they don't get through, you know, that's sort of idea, or to make sure that they are not like suddenly declaring war and I'm under attack in the middle of my places. So, which is a bit of a problem, of course. Now, especially whenever you leave like allies, it's fine, but whenever you leave potential enemies, it's a bit of a problem. So, I can confederate Thorgrim, and that alone is tricky. So I'd like to explain how I do this. So I'm going to confederate, and suddenly I'm 67k in debt. That's likely because of the number of armies, I'll show you. But there's a lot of stuff that I got there. So lots of... Yeah, there's a lot of armies. I mean, look at that. You don't need so many armies, dude. And they have very good units, actually, from the looks of it. Yes, some decent ones. I'm checking also the Lord level 50. Level 50s. Lots of level 50s. At least I found 2 already. So... yeah, that's cool. So one thing that I'll do is like this. I'll try to delete units that I really won't need, and I'll try to have at least, you know, a couple of armies already with a better units. Yeah, I have 29 armies suddenly. I'm certainly not going to need those, and I'm going to delete the armies that are, you know, just like a lord and 2 units, because they make no sense at this point. So that's sort of what happens, and I'll just keep whatever I can, and I'll make some armies out of this. So let me skip a couple of turns for this. Actually, no turns. I just skipped a little bit of that action. I have 21, so I deleted 8 armies, and I also, at the same time, did a change. You see that K? That means that it's going to be away. It's just a way for me to say that the intention for that lord is to be replaced by a lord that is wounded, changing the skills. See the idea? Because it's rechanging the skills, and then I'll have to ensure that I'm like this, like I'm doing here, you know. So I'll have to make sure that I'll remember. Okay, it doesn't allow me, so I'll just add the letter K, and that's it. This is just really to know that that's not the lord that should be leading. What should be leading is actually an actual lord, you know? So I spent a lot of money, lots of building up and restructuring the provinces to ensure that, you know, I have every single building that gives income, and also building some, what's it called, some deeps as well. So now we're going to go through all of those. And this is turn 121. My income is 8,000, right? And I can tell you that in like 10 turns, my income is 90,000. So that's the deeps and just reformulating everything. And I still get even more armies. So that's the stuff that you can do. Yeah. So the deeps are just way too overpowered. I cannot even explain. I don't know how they are in the game. It's like, seriously, you could limit the deeps to 10 and it still would be powerful. It still would be, mind my words. You could just do 10 deeps, you know, have to choose 10 capitals or something like that, and still would be powerful. And yet you can do them in every single province or settlement, actually, which is insane. I try not to use it because it just sounds so crazy good. It's just way too much. I find myself with way too much money. I tried one playthrough and I was like, no, I'm not going to show that. I know that you guys may want that, but sorry. I try to use the tools to have a playthrough that feels good, you know. So yeah, sometimes I'll use the ridiculous stuff as well because come on, it's also funny. But at the same time, I try to change those. So there's a lot of wounded lords, like you see here, tons of wounded lords, and not all of them are going to be resurrected. So I have a lot of army potentials, you know, armies that I'm going to try and use. And in terms of diplomacy, I can still confederate and do some trade deals here. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to do some trade deals. She's likely going to be killed very soon. I could get a defensive alliance with Sterling, but honestly, they don't have any allies at all. I was thinking maybe one day just conquer that place, you know, conquer those settlements. So yeah, that would feel good as well. Yeah, I think so. He doesn't have any alliances. I don't know how Sterling survived. But yeah, I'm gonna take care of them later on. Maybe that will lead to some wars. I'm planning to just continue this campaign until I do the endgame victory and show you how to do it. And then I'll do a domination, basically video, where I just speed up and go really quickly, just to show you how you can do it. Because after a while, it's just insane how fast you can go. Like, especially on this game that I have all my allies doing so much, I kind of was hoping that some of the allies, the smaller ones, would die, like Carcassonne and Coronas. I was expecting the High Elves, I was expecting them to die to the Dark Elves. But your interference is always important, because definitely I noticed the issues. Oh, I still cannot do that? Oh, yeah, I need tier 2 for the control building, for the... I always forget about that. But okay. Now, one thing to quickly go through. Yeah, it seems like I have everything under control. Okay. You just set by province order, and then you just check which one is going to rebel sooner or later, you know? And then you check for the buildings. You check just the provinces that you are earning more. Why? Because those are typically the ones that have a good climate for you, and that's why. Okay, so I declared war on these guys, and literally they tried to attack me in the worst possible location. They tried to attack this guy, which is really good for me. Okay, I got to over there. I'm gonna use sharpened weapons. Notice that I have all that money. It's typically because of either sack or other stuff, you know, like conquering or anything like that. Okay, let's go over here. That's not even a great garrison. Yeah, Thorgrim can do this alone. Okay, I guess I'll do it. Yeah, the dwarves are just overpowered in terms of this. Yeah, no, I don't want that. I want the deeps. I know that's a special one. I should have captured it way before, but you know, other stuff took the credit. You do get an interesting deeps building that gives you stuff that helps out against the Age of Reckoning. You can stop it altogether. or you can gain some limits to the settlers units, so it's really cool. Okay, Thorgrim Ironbro. I wish on this menu it would show you the army that you're currently leading, because it affects so much. It's such a quality of life that I would like in the just put the army on the below this menu just so that you can see it, so because it covers the army. I just wanted it not to cover the army so that I can actually you know, because I always have to go back to check, oh, what units do I have? This, okay, you know, that's why I always had an open PowerPoint with on the other side, on the other window, to check what army I'm using, so that I can, you know, plan out the red line skills, for instance, or the skills that I want to play. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm just gonna ambush. Really don't want to have to deal with that army for now. I can, but it's just, you know, I prefer not to have to engage if it is not necessary with just one army, you know? And then I'll have to build this building here in the Silver Pinnacle, which starts spamming a lot of vampire counts, big armies. So the best idea is just to have like 4 or 5 armies there and be waiting for them and just, you know, take them out. They're very good. They have good armies. This is a convoy. Well, let it go. Let it be there. And all the while I'm moving over to this area. That's gonna be fine. So this is turn 122. I'll predict maybe 10 turns I've defeated all. I'm about to defeat the Nagarond, and maybe 20 I'm about to win the campaign, something like that. Like long campaign, well, long campaign is going to be very easy. As soon as I finish off the greenskins, it's done. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna move these guys. Some of these guys are gonna be changed by other ones. Some won't. Depends on how much, you know, I'll need. So I'm just building, ensuring that I get, you know, the control building is very important as well, because it does give you the kegs, the production. So that's also very important here. I need the deeps on this place, because overall over here it will just provide so much gold. It already is producing 4,500. I mean, yeah. And always be careful. The AI sometimes skips on specific resource buildings, and you gotta check for those. Like this one, these ones are built, but you gotta check. You know, sometimes they skip a mine or something like that, or a landmark, and that's just insane when they do that, and you don't realize. So whenever you confederate, just please make sure that you're checking. Or if you're occupying like a full province and you didn't destroy anything, just please make sure that you check the landmarks, you know? Yeah, let me build that. Why not? Let's go. All I want is income here and some production. Oh, I'm not going to spend 11k with that.
Can I help you?
Okay, let's attack this army. There we go.
For the king.
For the king! What I'm lacking is actually heroes. So I can produce enough heroes to feed all these armies, but not enough, you know. Yeah, there was a quest battle, actually. Not a quest battle, just for the adventure battles. And this guy, let's go over here. Yep. I've actually also, you know, another one is edicts. Just make sure that once in a while, like every 10 turns, every 5 turns, I just go through all the edicts to confirm, because sometimes you leave one. Yeah, see? There's a landmark there and I missed it. I knew that I was speaking about the landmarks because I would showcase one. Yeah. And the same thing on this one, I think. No, this one he managed. It's okay. But there's some stuff to do. Yeah, I can build that. There we go. All that I want is money here. But yeah, the idea being that you always gotta make sure that you check for the landmarks, you know, and that you check for that you check for the edicts, you know, that you have to keep in mind. Sometimes you do a decision and then 5 turns later it doesn't make any sense, you know. So yeah. Trying to think, what can I give this guy? I would like to give some mobility, maybe some bears. Heavy war sleds, that would be a nice idea. Maybe some heavy war sleds, why not? I don't have the bears, so why not getting this? Chemdrio, I could get some of these units. Yeah, that would be nice. But nah. I can only get one, which is shafty great bows. That would be cool. I could get some Sisters of Avalon as well, but it's not like I need those. I need flyers. That's, you know, big flyers or cavalry. The Arcane Phoenix could be. Can I get 2? Or a couple of lion chariots? I cannot get 2. If I could, that would be the case. I would have 4 chariots, you know. Oh, I can get some hippogriffs. Yeah. And Kuron, can you give me one more hippogriff? No, I don't have enough. Oh. I'm not getting too many allegiance points. That's the big problem of expanding so fast. You know, the turns don't spend. Okay, what can I get? I can get some hammerers and some iron drakes. Why not? I mean, I'll be spending on those and the flame cannon as well. So hold on, and the hammerer. Do I want the hammerers? No, let's go with this. Let's recruit more units later on. That's fine. Yeah. That'll be it for this episode, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.